Hello and welcome to my latest weekly video news from Madison's. Well, I've got back after a week's skiing and my goodness, it was a bonkers week last week. A huge thank you to my team who managed everything so well in mine and my husband's absence. We had a record number of sales agreed. We're frequently the top agent in the town for sales agreed. I don't shout about that enough. But last week we were first for sales agreed, first for new instructions. So a booming market certainly continues, and this week feeling just as busy. So it leads me to bring on to what is going on with the market at the moment. There is so much uncertainty, cost of living rises, mortgages going up, and yet still the property world continues to boom. It's almost like it's decoupled from the economy, where you hear stories of doom and gloom and pressures on people's cost of living, and yet the property market continues to boom. Zoopla came out with some figures, a 65% higher buyer interest in the last 4 weeks than on a 5-year average. So a phenomenal number of people still searching for their next home. And stock levels actually up. Stock levels up 5% against a seasonally adjusted average as well. But against a 65% increase in buyer demand, that's why it's translating to all this huge activity. Prices continue to soar. So here in the southeast, we are up 8.3%, which is higher than the national average of 8.1%. Wales continues to perform the best, 11.2% growth. And London the worst, 3.2% growth is all they're seeing in the capital. Interesting stories around whether the move to the country will start to appease a little bit, reduce a little. Lots of stories about people regretting their pandemic move, missing walking out to get a coffee and not finding the rural retreat in the depths of winter as lovely as it seemed when they made that move in the summer. So lots of stories about that. So who knows if those figures will continue to rise. There's certainly not as much second home buying. It is people looking to relocate to those areas, so that will be interesting to watch. And of course, what does this all mean? Well, prices continue to rise. When you've got more buyer demand than you've got available stock, then prices will rise. And of course, really interesting statistic that came out was that for the first time in many, many years, I think since 2005 actually, investors are adding to their portfolio rather than disposing of it. And that's probably because if you're sitting on cash in an inflation-driven environment, which is where we are at the moment, is not a great asset to hold. Much better to sit in an asset that protects you against inflation rises, that basically rises as inflation would. So property, as I always say, a great hedge against inflation, and that's probably why we're seeing those net increases from investors into the buy-to-let space. Well, moving forward, what do I think? I think this, for the first half of this year, this activity will continue very, very strongly. And I think it will then start to appease a little bit, reduce just a little in the second half of next year. That's simply because those cost of living rises will start to bite. The reality is people will still get married, still have babies, still get divorced, still die, still need to live in a different part of the country, want to move to be closer to children, to family, whatever. There will continue to be a reason why people have to move house. We live on an island, there's a shortage of space, and so I do think prices will continue to rise. There's going to be no great crash, in my opinion. It just won't run at the phenomenal levels that we've seen for quite a while, simply because those cost of living rises and the mortgage increases that we're seeing will start to bite a little. People will still move house, but I think they perhaps won't redo their bathroom so many times. We have an enormous amount of disposable spend, and I think that will be what will slightly start to reduce. So busy for this first half. Lots of sellers capitalising on this boom market to get a great price for their property, and will slightly slow next half, but no crash predicted from me. Inflation, I think, will ease in 2023, but obviously we'd need to see what happens with the tragic events in Ukraine and how those unfold and the uncertainty. So I'll keep you updated with my thoughts. Well, of course, it's Easter coming. I'm sure, like me, you're juggling childcare and lots of other issues, but lots of great events coming up for this Easter bank holiday weekend. Do look at all the websites on our own Instagram page and our other social media channels. We've been posting lots to do with your family, great walks, treasure hunts, lots of things to entertain you. And if you want a bit of kind of property candy to look at, how about this? Doc Martin's house in Port Isaac is being sold. It's this cute little cottage that you can see here. And it's on a whopping 1.25 million, which is staggering when you think it's only got 2 bedrooms. All about the celebrity value factor for that one, but a wonderful position overlooking the sea and such an iconic property. I have a lovely property that I have launched here in Tunbridge Wells. It's very near Denorlan Park, has been completely renovated, single story living, beautifully presented, lovely garden, garage, ticks so many boxes, this property, on at a guide of 750,000. So if you'd like to have a look at that, do let us know. I just thought I'd show you something funny actually, what's going on as I finished my vlog, to show you how I juggle. My little daughter here, bless her, has been sitting patiently on the sofa. There's my youngest, beautiful Cat Noir. She's waiting to go to her club at Homewood House. So I just wanted to show you that because she's been making faces at me from behind the camera the whole time. I juggle as well, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I hope you have a lovely Easter holiday. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.